Students in the History of Haverhill class at Haverhill High this semester have delved into the rich history of this city. And one topic they have researched is a little-known historical event that would reach far beyond Haverhill to impact our entire country. The Journal is excited to present this next segment, produced by the History of Haverhill class, on the Haverhill Petition. Driving by the Essex Street Gateway mural, you may have noticed the scene at the top left, which depicts John Quincy Adams presenting the Haverhill Petition to Congress. E. Philip Brown's History of Haverhill class at Haverhill High School has been researching the petition, and with them, let's take a look back at what might be President Adams' finest hour. The Haverhill Petition was an attempt by the citizens of Haverhill in 1842 to dissolve the Union on account of its support of slavery. Members of the Union Evangelical Church joined together for the petition because they believed that too many resources from the northern U.S. were supporting institutions and companies that primarily benefited Southern slaveholders. After John Quincy Adams left the office of president in 1829, he returned to a seat in the House of Representatives. Now, at the time, there existed a gag rule within Congress, which meant the Southern slaveholders could enforce a law to prevent the discussion of anything anti-slavery. I'm standing here at the corner of Winter and Franklin Streets, the former Union Evangelical Church, where the Haverhill Petition was signed. Although the document was only signed by 46 citizens, what's interesting to note is the major impact it had on Congress. Why do you believe John Quincy Adams was so interested in Haverhill, which at that time was not even a city?
I believe it was because his family had roots in the city. On top of that, he also studied for his Harvard entry exam year.
President Adams never really tackled anything that controversial during his time in office. If he was so against slavery, why didn't he do anything about it until the 1840s?
One theory proposed is that while John Adams hated slavery, he hated the Southern powers even more, as the Southern played a big part in his re-election defeat against Andrew Jackson in the 1830s. Adams may have seen this as an opportunity to exact his revenge.
Adams presented the Haverhill Petition on January 21, 1842. With slavery as established as it was, the proposal was met with severe backlash. After Adams suggested it be moved to committee, the Southerners demanded that he be censured for perjury and high treason. After 17 days of holding the floor in Congress, it finally reached the table. How was John Adams able to convince the pro-slavery Northerners to change their stance?
After the attempt to censor him failed, Adams attacked and shamed Northerners for supporting slavery. Then people began to realize that slavery was impacting people's right to petition for their grievances, which is granted by the First Amendment. And after those events, the gag rule was disposed of.
Now, whilst Adams was indeed censured following his political standoff, the damage to the gag rule had already been done. He continued to renew his motion each year until in 1844, the gag rule was finally abolished, paving the way for the abolition of slavery 20 years later. Thanks to E. Philip Brown and his History of Haverhill class for bringing us this fascinating story about a little-known piece of Haverhill's past.